Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast, hosted by Don Goettling, bringing you the top professionals, real stories, and proven success secrets that create unstoppable momentum. This is the show for housing professionals who want clarity, not clicks, where action, discipline, and consistency turn into real results. Top professionals, real momentum, real success. Let's get it started.
Welcome back to the Momentum Builder Podcast. That's right, where we bring you the leaders, the innovators, and the top performers who are helping professionals build momentum in business and life. And today, I'm telling you, you want to be here today. This is going to be one of the most fun conversations you're going to listen to because my guest today is fun and energetic and informative. And we're going to talk about something you've never heard before in most cases. And I'm really excited myself to hear. So we're going to talk. In fact, the guest today, she's actually bilingual. What does that mean to you? No, it's not that she talks English and Italian, maybe a little bit, but it's really she speaks realtor and loan officer. And we're going to talk about that because my guest today is Coach Katey, who has spent the last 2 decades helping these two professions better understand each other, heaven forbid, communicate more effectively, and ultimately create better experiences for home buyers. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what realtors and really looking at for a lending partner. What are they looking for in a lending partner? How do you speak realtor? And we have a hard time with that. We think we know what they want, but Katey she's done both sides, real estate agent and loan officer. So she's one of the few that really understands both sides and what she would be looking for in a lender. And we're going to share those topics and some insights that will help you build better partnerships, because it's not just having a lot of real estate agents, it's actually having the right ones and how to create a real partnership, real trust. And that's what Katey's here today to do. And I'm really excited to have you on our show, Katey. Welcome to the Momentum Builder Podcast, my friend.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be in the podcast, and just in keeping it real, I've actually never done a loan, but I've worked for 2 different mortgage companies, and I've actually been a consultant and coach for mortgage companies, and so that's where my role has been, that I've worked for mortgage companies but not actually done a loan. Like, I can't even spell 1003, so I don't really know how
Actually,
that
I'm
all.
glad, because then we're really going to get the insights from the real estate side of things,
Yes,
which we
yes.
really need. And we talked about this, and I'm going to start with something that I feel is really important for all of you listening, because our goal is to help you build momentum and grow, not, personally and professionally. And one of the things I've seen, Katey, and, one of the most important thing, and I applaud you on, and you support my soapbox that I've been on for the last few months, is the importance of growth and the importance. I've noticed that you are a constant student. And I know that for a fact because I am a constant student, and I believe in always growing, and you never know what you don't know, and you don't know who you're going to meet that's going to change your life. So like you, I go to a lot of events, and every time at an event, Katey's there. Hey, hi Don, how's it going? And we're talking multiple events all over the nation. And every time I show up, there's Katey. And you're working the room. You don't just sit back and sit at the table and listen all day long. You are engaged in the event, and you're talking to everybody, literally everybody, with your high energy. You're learning, you're meeting new people. Tell me how important you feel that is, because unfortunately, due to COVID, a lot of our industries become a little complacent, I feel. They're like, I can get all the info I can through YouTube, through social media. But it's different being in an event live. Do you agree?
100%. And I I I believe so much in the networking of life. My mom was like that. She was a networker, always opening up doors for people. And so I grew up thinking everybody did it, right? It just, when you go to an event, you go and meet new people, or you say hello to the people you maybe haven't seen in a while, but then you always make sure to go and meet a couple of other people. And so I grew up that way, that this is just what you do. And so I didn't really know there was any other way, until I was starting to go to events, and realizing that I was the only one. Like, oh, why are you going up and talking to them? And I'm like, because they're right there. Like, why wouldn't I? Right? Like,
Well,
they're
you're so
10 feet
shy.
from
You're
me. It's
so
like,
shy.
I, well, and most people don't bite. I mean, it's,
Right.
and nobody bursts into flames if you walk over and you say, hi, right? Nice to meet you. This is even part of the speaking realtor. If you see a realtor that you've always wanted to meet at an event, walk up to them and say exactly that. Like, I've admired you from afar for years, and your business is amazing. Just wanted to say, introduce myself and say hello. And I mean, who says, "Oh, well, I hate you," after that? Like, I mean, come on, like, it's or
Well,
you
what you
know,
just said is important. Is the fact, like, when you met me, you actually we hadn't met yet, but
uh,
you knew it, and you want to go, "Hey, Don, you're somebody I've been wanting to meet."
mhm.
Meaning you open that door right away because you're like, "Hey, you're somebody I've been wanting to meet." Meaning, "Oh, you know who I am. You
I
want to
do know
meet
who
me."
you are.
And
Yes.
it took that door away right away. I'm like, "Okay. Well, why is that?" And you're like, "Because you do this and this, and I want to talk to you about this because I think I can add value with your community. I know what you're doing now, and I hear what you're doing, and I want to be part of that, and I want to help." You're a giver and a connector. That's what I have seen. And
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a lot of reciprocation because of that. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's, we forget how connected we are as humans. And I'm a big fan of grounding, right? Where you go and you put your feet in the grass, not your shoes, your feet.
Hmm.
I was actually having this conversation with my adult daughter. She was stressed about something. I said, literally go hug a tree, or go hold the hand of a tree. Like, go hold the branch like you're a little kid holding your mom's hand. And because it's the reminding us that we're all connected, that sometimes we need to release, negative energy, or put the positive energy out there. Like, I'm having a really good day. I'm going to go put my feet in the grass and go spread that great energy to other parts of the world, or other parts of my community that need that. And because you don't know when it needs to come back to you.
Is this?
And so I have one of my mentors says often, we as humans have spent more time around campfires than we have around computers. And so when we need to make important decisions, we go connect with other humans, because being outside of the campfire meant that you starved and you were eaten by the saber tooth. So as humans, we need that connectivity, that seeing the whites of your eyes, that I mean, I'm a hugger. It's even on my LinkedIn page. I'm a hugger. So
You are a hugger.
I am a hugger. So look, have you seen me coming? It's
Yep.
coming, get ready, right? So
But
uh
you disarm people that way too, because you're open. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, some people are uncomfortable with that. And believe it or not, there was a time in my life, because my parents were not huggers, I had to work at it. I
mm,
literally had to get comfortable with hugging. Now I'm like you, I'll hug everybody. I love it
yeah,
because I love being loved. I'm like, woohoo, hey, hi. And people are like, easy. Just met you. So I'm on your page, but you disarm people because that you have to have that open, like when you smile and you're like, "Hey, I've been wanting to meet you. I would like to meet you, or I'd like to get to know you." It opens that door. And this is important because this is about communication today. You're
correct.
really good about communication. And I want it just to be about I speak realtor. I do want it, like, for you out there to understand how important it is and how comfortable you can become by meeting other people. And
Mhm.
that's why I mentioned the events. Is there's not an event. I mean, you were just at the last event, and I cannot believe how much energy I got from the event. I just
Mhm.
went to the Ford event, and Neil Denver just absolutely brought it. And believe me, our Momentum Builder Live in October is going to be the same kind of energy because it was different. It wasn't, shoot, we've all been there. You go to an event, you sit in a chair, and within a half hour, you're doing this. You're like, well,
Where's the coffee? Where's the coffee?
exactly. Where Niels, I don't have to worry about that. I know in Momentum Builder Life, you're not going to worry about that. We keep the energy up. It's high energy, but the value is so good that you can't wait for the next speaker because you're like, wow, that was amazing. I took, 2 pages of notes, and the next speaker just brings the next speaker, brings the next speaker, the next panel. That's what a good event does. And I couldn't wait because it's not just going to an event. I walked away excited because I have 15 new ideas that I can share with my community and my team that I didn't have before. Because I'm sorry, they get tired of hearing me say the same thing over and over and over because that's what I have. But when I go to these events, I come back with a new playbook. And that's what
Absolutely.
we all need, is that energy and the camaraderie. And I want people to get back out, and that's what we're built for. Humans are built to communicate and help each other. But you got to get out of your comfort zone. Everybody's like, I just stay home. Get out of your comfort zone and go meet people. Go learn new tactics,
Well,
right?
I think may I challenge you a little bit on that?
Sure.
Because there are some
Please.
people that feel like they need some sort of structure. They're like, I'm not super high energy, or I'm more analytical, or I have I think I've shared with you that I have a whole bunch of classes that I teach, right? One of them is how to speak realtor. But the other one I teach is how to work a conference. And it's a structure about like how, like, okay, I intellectually know, I hear Don and Katie talking about the value of being at a conference. I intellectually get it. But what am I supposed to do? Right.
Hmm?
And so part of the
Valid.
prep that I tell a lot of people who are like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, great, perfect. First thing is get a stack of business cards, like, and then have a stack and count them. And make sure that before you leave the event, you've exchanged. If you bring 20 business cards, come back with 20 different business cards, right? So that, like, and almost make it a game of like, okay, like my goal, my minimum is 20, but I really want to get 30 or whatever, and make it like a challenge to yourself, right? Most loan officers are competitive by nature, right? And most entrepreneurs are competitive and have, play the little game with yourself, right? And do that. The other thing is about the speakers, and I think you saw me do this at the last conference we attended together, was that a lot of times they have an open mic. After a keynote, there's a mic and there's like, hey, we'll take questions from the audience.
You were the
And
first one.
usually it's the first or second, it's getting those one or two people out of the chair that is the hardest, which is why you saw me get up and go. Because I'm like, I made it up on the fly. But if you are like, hey, I want to be able to interact with some of these speakers, like, see if they have a blog, see if they have a video, see if they have a book, and read the book ahead of time, so that when that person is speaking from the stage and they have the mics available, you can go up and ask a really valuable question that at least 50 other people in the room are thinking about it too, but they just didn't have the time to formulate it. But you can do a whole bunch of prep work on who the speakers are, who's going to
Mm-hmm.
be the keynote that they're probably going to open it up for Q&A, and then who of those speakers, if you're like, man, I'd really like to meet them. And maybe it's 5 names. And you're not like, sure, if you met all 5, like, do it, like, give yourself a prize, do a happy dance. But if you met 3 of the 5, that's amazing. And you had an opportunity to talk to them, even if it was for 2 minutes, and shake their hand. And I'm a big fan of the handwritten notes, right? Send the handwritten note afterwards. You never know where that connection is going to open up again. And it's also just good energy to go and say, hey, thank you so much. I really got something valuable out of your presentation.
You know what? That's a really valuable point right there, and I hope you heard that because I speak quite often. Katie speaks quite often, and when we're done, we truly do want feedback. It's really hard. You walk off going, I hope I connected with people. I hope they enjoyed it, and people sometimes don't give you that. But I'd rather like, hey, Don, it was really good what you spoke about here. I have a question on this. I love some interaction. I love some feedback, and it doesn't always have to be you rocked it. It's, hey, you intrigued me. I have a question because I'm going to challenge you, just like you did on this call. You challenged me. I'm okay with that. We're
Right.
okay with that. It's
Yeah.
good to go up and speak to them. And what I love, like I work really hard at our events. You'll notice when you go to Momentum Builder Live, a lot of our speakers will hang out the entire time. They'll be part of our community. They like to be part of it. They're like, I want to meet other people. You think the speakers just want to show up, speak, and leave. And there'll be a couple of those because they're very busy people. I mean, I have some rock stars who are like, I'm busy. I got to go. I'm like, okay, I go. Thank you for the time at our event. Thank you.
Right.
But a lot of them, they'll actually be hanging out, listening to other speakers, hanging out at our networking parties, playing cornhole with the rest of us. Our group is a community. It's really our own crew and a gang that all helps each other grow. And I'm really excited about that. And thank you for bringing up the speaker part, like how important it is to how to work a conference and how
Yeah.
to really engage and get some value out of it and stuff. And I like your comment. I'm gonna lean over here, but the card thing, everybody, it's so funny. So many people are like, I don't even carry cards anymore. I don't know how
Okay.
many people are like, oh, a card, cool. Because you think I'm gonna put you in my phone or we're gonna tap phones that you're gonna remember them. I'm sorry, they just got added to your 2,500 people in your phone or 5,000, whatever it is. I bring these back. I'm like, oh, and it reminds me of them. I'm like, oh, and it reminds me to reconnect with them because you usually don't. And I called all the people, all the cards I got.
You too.
I got back in and I like, hey Scott, very nice to meet you, buddy. Here's my info. Let's get on a phone call and get to know each other better. Hey Robert, good to see you again. It's been a while, that type of thing. Cards do work still, believe it or not. I know we're lazy and we don't want to carry it and everybody's all digital, but there's something to be had about that. Okay, I want to dive in a little bit about
Okay.
the two professions that you have kind of helping us connect the dots, like bridge that gap.
Yes.
So let's pretend I'm a loan officer meeting a realtor for the first time. What am I probably getting wrong? Because
Oh,
I
how
am, I
long do we
guarantee.
have? No, no.
You're
Yeah.
like,
So,
well, this is gonna be
okay.
some
Yeah, I'm gonna get the hook pretty soon.
right.
So here, let me just start with the mindset
Yeah.
because there's a mindset piece that I think is the first thing is that I mean we'd make the joke right that I'm bilingual. I speak loan officer and realtor, and every time I say that from the stage, everybody laughs. And the truth is that we do communicate differently. So if I am speaking Italian to you, you said you speak Spanish. You would be able to gather bits and
Yeah.
pieces of what I'm saying because they're Latin based languages, but maybe not fully get the nuance of what I'm saying. This is the exact same thing with loan officers or realtors. You're both, real estate based is the basis of both the languages, but
Mhm.
sometimes there's nuances that it's like, wait, what? I don't understand. So I think that I want to remind loan officers that realtors get paid for relationships. Loan officers get paid for systems. And if
Okay.
you understand that what you can provide to a realtor is the systems that they don't have because they're so relationship based, and what the realtor can provide to the loan officer is introducing them to their relationships and making them a
Love that.
part of that, right? But that can work. That's a very symbiotic relationship
Yeah, but I
when
love
it's
how you
done
broke
right.
it up so that a real estate agent or a loan officer, especially a loan officer, can understand that because sometimes they get confused. They think they're one and the same when they aren't. Like your goal is to help them with your systems. Their goal is to go find those relationships, which is very hard. A lot of times we pick on you, real estate agents, like, oh, you guys don't do shit. Know how hard it is to create relationships of trust where somebody's going to, give you their home to sell or buy, find a home for them. That is a big deal. And we should be very fortunate that they've done that. Now we can help by creating systems to help them be more efficient. Am I right?
Yeah, well, I was in corporate sales for about a 10, 12 years before I got into real estate. And the hardest job is getting that first appointment.
Mm.
That is 75% of the sale is getting that appointment, right? To sit down with somebody and have the conversation. And how that's done. And obviously loan officers do it too for the ones that are using a great system and doing some follow-up and making those past client calls, which I always say to somebody, are you a past loan officer? If you have a past client, I always think that's funny. So no, they're clients, whether they are doing a loan with you today or they did one 10 years from now or 10 years ago. It doesn't matter. There can still be clients. You can still serve them like you would serve any client, right? So, but I think that when you say walking up to a realtor that you want to meet, like
Mhm.
at a social situation, or you see somebody out and about at the coffee shop, and it's transparency. So, and the simple, one of the things that I hear a lot that a lot of coaches will tell loan officers is call people and say, hey, do you got a minute? And it's not a minute. It's never
Never.
a minute,
That's
right?
not fair.
And so, and we're already starting off with, I don't trust you.
Yeah, because they know right away it's not going to be a minute.
Not going to be a minute. And
So they
so,
almost want to say no, knowing it's not going to be a minute.
right. And now, I mean, I have had people call me, and, not only for loan officers, but say, hey, do you have 3 minutes?
Mhm.
I do. Now, but make it 3 minutes, right? I
Right.
need to know that I can trust that if you tell me 3 minutes and you go for 10, then how am I ever going to believe you when you tell me that the loan is on track?
But my content is so valuable, though.
Right. Then we should have an appointment. Like your job,
Well, that's
if
what I'm
you're
saying. That's what they're thinking. I guarantee they're like, but I'm bringing so much value to them. They'll give me that extra time. But you're still
well, how
being
do you know? How do
right.
you know what value I need?
That's what I'm saying. But a loan officer thinks they're really thinking about not your needs. They're thinking about what
Right.
I have to offer from what
Yes.
I see.
Yes. There is
Okay.
a philosophy of prescription without diagnosis is malpractice.
I love that. Meaning you need to ask questions and find out
Yeah.
what their needs are.
What their
Heaven
needs are.
forbid.
It's also my rant about what are rates? Why does somebody ask you what are rates? They have Google. They can Google it. We don't
Yeah.
know why they're asking because we never ask them. We go on some
Well,
sort of
what's important to you about a rate?
right. Hey, what's going on? What are you thinking about? Like anything, any question is better than let me tell you what the rates are. What? Like, no, they can get that information. They're not really asking that. You can just say, hey, they're around this, but what's going on with you? What are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that they're asking that question. It's not small talk. But it's
All
same
right.
thing with
So
realtors.
transparency is first and foremost. Like if
Clarity
you're going
is
to say, can we have a coffee appointment for 15 minutes and make it 15 minutes?
right. And I mean, like, take your phone out and set a
Mhm.
timer for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So that when it goes up, if you were in the middle of a sentence, you could have been the best points of
Say,
the
I
entire
respect your
coffee meeting. You
time.
stop and say, hey, I would like to wrap this. I want to be respectful of your time. I said 15, it's been 12. Do you have 5 more minutes that I could continue to explain this? And if you don't, that's fine. We can have another conversation. And let
And I
them
love that. I wish
say,
people would do that on my stage sometimes.
you can do
Hey,
it
your
for them. You can
time's
just set a
up.
timer.
Oh, I'm gonna hook them this
You
year.
can just make one of those like really obnoxious, like fire
Oh,
alarm kind of
I
sounds.
thought about
right?
being so rude. Somebody goes, "That's rude." There, I was gonna have a friend dress up as Little Bo Peep with a big hook, and just like when they see Little Bo Peep on the side of the stage, they're gonna go, "Uh oh, I'm getting the hook."
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But I think
Wouldn't it
so.
be
I think
funny?
just
You're like,
when you're talking about it,
the people I think
yeah,
would freak
like,
when they saw
but that
Little
was
Bo
fun.
Peep.
But you know what? If you know, I mean, most of us know that are been speaking from stages of like, okay, I
There's a
got
big
5 minutes
clock.
of content and 90 seconds left. It's like, okay, well, I got to pick. I got to pick what I want to, how I want to wrap this up at the end. But yeah, it's so I think if you're talking about seeing somebody face to face, I think it's just be honest. Hey, I don't, we haven't really met. And here's the other thing that I think that a lot of loan officers say, well, I know a lot of realtors. And I'm like, what do you know about them?
Hmm,
You know their
right?
name and who they work for? Does that mean you know them? Would you go on vacation with them? Would do you know what their favorite color is? Their favorite movie? Do you know like what do you
Do
know
they
about?
have kids? Do they? There's so
What did
many.
they do before they got into real estate is a huge data point. Because
Right?
if somebody was an accountant before they became a realtor, you already
Numbers
know how they
matter,
think,
right? Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Simple. Like,
yeah.
oh God, this is gonna be great. Like I know exactly how to talk to this person. And you talk to somebody, I was a kindergarten teacher before getting my real estate license. Well, that's a whole nother, I know how they think. I know how creative and they can talk about thinking on their feet. Holy moly. Like, and that's literal herding cats, right? If you're a kindergarten teacher, right? And so but
What? And go ahead
no,
if
you're fine.
I was going to say, because I know as a loan officer, I would want to know, all right, Katie, if someone's coming to you and they want to do business with Katey Dallosto, how should they, other than being transparent and being honest with their time, what would interest you to take the time to talk to them? Because it's not like, hey, I'd love to talk to you about our low rates or our programs. That's not going to
No,
work, right?
no, because you don't know if they care about low rates or programs. You don't know.
Right.
You don't
Thank you.
know. So don't assume and stop making. Okay, here's the thing. If you're gonna make up a story in your head about the realtor, make it have a happy ending.
Okay.
Because most of us make up stories of in our head of some catastrophe. So make up a story. If you realize that you're making assumptions about somebody else that you don't really know, make assumptions in the positive. They can't wait to meet with me. We're going to have this amazing conversation. And I think the answer to your question is the same reason you talk to me, is that I said to you, hey, I know you. I know who you are. I know some of the work that you've been doing. I would like to learn about what you do and a little bit more about your program and see, and I think I even said these words to you, and see if I might have an opportunity to help support you in any way.
Yeah. How do I say no to that?
Right. How does any realtor say
Honestly.
no to that?
Right. But that's a
Right.
different way of, I'm just after your business.
Right.
You started with, I'm interested in you and I want to find out more.
Right.
Everybody loves that. Everybody wants to talk about themselves or feel that somebody knows them or cares about them. Starting with that is brilliant, by the way. And you walk the walk because you did it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I might have said, I got plenty of people speaking on my stage. But here you are. You're on a podcast with me weeks later.
Ta-da! Well,
Right?
and here's, I make jokes about this. I make these jokes to realtors. This is not like just as only I say this to loan officers. Like, come on, we put our picture on our business cards. Just tell us we're pretty, right? Like, you're like 80% there, right? And it doesn't matter that it's my prom picture that's on my business cards, right? Right? Right.
I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, nice high school picture.
Yeah, exactly. Well, your prom picture is so cute. But it's like, look, tell me that you admire something about me, hey, I've always wondered how you seem to work with a lot of first-time home buyers, I hear you talking about working with investors, and I'm just super curious about how you got involved in that, right? But be real. If you're not curious about it, let's not start off a relationship with making something up. And I know, and friends of mine that give me a hard time about this, but it's so much like dating, it's not even funny, right?
It is exactly like
It's
dating.
exactly like
And
dating.
on that note, you nailed the head. You teed it up in two ways. So here's something I learned the hard way. So you said, say something nice about them, and say something that you're interested in about them or impressed by or want to find out more of, whatever it is. And someone will go, what if I don't like them? Then don't go talk to
Don't
them.
work with them.
Don't work with them, because I worked with, I'm going to use a technical term, assholes. And I did. Real estate agents that absolutely abused me, especially when I was younger, because I was a hard worker. And I'm like, whatever you need, I'll do it. And they absolutely abused me. And I hated the business because of it. And fortunately, Jim McMahon told me, why are you working with them? Like, because that's where I get my leads. And they go, but you don't like working with them. You're hating your job right now. I'm like, yes. And like, his exact saying, I still remember this day. He'll be on our stage this year. There's enough people to do business your way to not worry about those who don't. And it's key. And I now use that in not just who I work with as a real estate agent, but also on my team. Whoever's on my team, we don't have to be best friends, but I do have to respect and like them. And if I don't, I set them free. I call it. I don't fire them.
Right. You release them back into the water.
Exactly. So that was a key point. And thank you for bringing that up, because it is important that it is somebody you want to work with. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Don't just add another notch on your bedpost. It's important to really like who you're working with. Really important. So do your homework first. Know what their volume is. Know what their specialties is. Know how long they've been in the business. Do your homework first, right?
Yeah, and I would even say, like you had said about you want to be working with people that you trust and like. Well, they have to trust and like you, right? So if somebody is not respecting you or your business, like, You have to stand up for who you are, right? And we teach people. This is a hard lesson to learn. I have lots and lots of bruises and scars from learning this lesson because I'm a recovering people pleaser. Is that we teach people how to treat us. So if you say I'm available all the time and you can, and I'll do anything to help you and I'll do this, and guess that people go, okay, well, I'm going to keep pushing until you tell me no.
They're not going to respect your time because you
No,
don't
because you
respect your
told them
time,
not to. You
right?
told them you didn't have to.
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm like, okay. I mean, so
It makes you also not look very organized if like, I'm always available. No, I'm
no,
focused during this time and this time. My
right.
family time is this time or my
Yes.
week, whatever. You have to be very honest with them
Right.
what's
And I'm
important
saying
to you.
if you meet a realtor who you like, you find them professional, they're 18 months in the business, they've got 3 little kids at home. They're like, "Wow, this is a diamond in the rough." And they've actually done really well cuz now that I've gotten to know them a little bit and they had these other things going on in their lives. Wow, what could we do together? Right? Then have that conversation, right? But I'm saying that first meeting is not only are you having an opportunity to meet with them and like, oh, I got to meet with so and so. Great. It's you interviewing them of would you want to take is this somebody that you would take their call, good news or bad, at 8 o'clock at night? Is this somebody that you might invite over to your house for a family barbecue in the backyard? Right? Now, if they don't meet that criteria, you got to tell me what else about them is worthwhile. Unless I do know some people that are very like work is over here, family and fun is over here. And that's fine. If you're hardwired that way, I get it. But if you're a little, like a lot of people like, hey, some of my closest friends are my business
Mhm.
partners. And we hang out together and we do stuff, we do things together. Then, and you know their goals as well as they know yours, right? So and I will say something you said at the beginning, and I'm not paying any attention to how much time we have, but I just wanted to say this is that you had said something about how we can, partner. How do you have a realtor, and how does a realtor have a mortgage partner? Most of them think you're talking about a unicorn. They've never heard of it. They don't know what it means. So
Sure.
they've never, I mean, it's funny. I actually talked to in my job right now. I was talking to a realtor this week, and we asked hey, do you have a mortgage partner? He goes, well, I have 3 I work with, and I think some of them think we might be partners, but we're not partners.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, because they haven't sat down and said, I want to be your partner. This is how it's going to work, right? We're going to meet once a week. You're going to hold me accountable. I'm going to hold you accountable. I will tell you, I had a business partner every step of the way. And we met once a week. I actually recruited my own loan officer, actually recruited a loan officer to my office when I was running a 200 agent office in the San Francisco area. And her office was literally next door to mine on purpose. And so we would meet once a week and she was my accountability partner and I was hers. And that was everything from family, health, wealth, work, right? I mean, and we were brutal with each other, but we pushed each other. And she was my true business partner. So if she was struggling with her business and she's like, hey, can I was wrangling my agents in the office of like, hey, go sit, go have a meeting, go talk to her, have her be your backup lender or whatever. And vice versa. If I was struggling with recruiting, she's like, okay, who do you want to talk to? Hey, I think I can make an intro to this person or that person. And so, cause she knew my goals were about recruiting and her goals were about loans closed. And so we could help each other do that in the office. And she was 100% my business partner. And so like,
That's true loyalty there
well, we built it.
for both
It didn't happen
sides.
overnight, right? And we
Right.
built it. We were purposeful about it. And we had a structure. Like, and that's part of it is like, well, I'm their business partner. Well, what does that mean? How do you define that? How do you measure that? How do you know? I mean, yeah, there's lots of reports out there you can look at, but it's, if you're not building a relationship, then you're a commodity.
All right. So we're coming to the end of this. So I have a great question that just aligns with what you just talked about. So
Okay.
thank you. You're great at teeing this stuff up, by the way. Makes it really easy for me as the host. So what's the difference between a loan officer a realtor likes versus a loan officer a realtor trusts? You kind of were alluding to it just now.
Yeah. So I
Because
can
there's a
like
difference of how much business you're going to get. Like you said, likes. Well, I work with three loan officers. You're just one of the ones they like versus really building a true relationship and partnership. And I think I would feel that in my history, I've done much better. I have some that I get their business when I can, but I'm friends with pretty much all the real estate agents I've worked with in the past. And the top ones I spend a lot of time with building trust. So there's a big difference between like and trust in my eyes. Don't you agree?
yes, and there's a huge difference, and it's a simple word. It's a simple word, it's not always easy to do. It's vulnerability.
Mm.
Vulnerability creates trust 100% of the time. So if you think about your deepest relationships, personal or professional,
Yeah.
they're the people that have been the most vulnerable with you, and you have been the most vulnerable with them. And vulnerable can mean, I got this crazy idea. Who can I call? Who can I call? I'll call Don, right? Don, I got this crazy idea. I need you to tell me that I've lost my mind. And you're like, yep, you've lost your mind. I'm taking you to the funny farm right now. Like, but keep the ideas coming, right? Because the
Right.
idea, encouragement is still there, but yeah, that one goes in the garbage. You're not doing that one, but let's keep going, right? Vulnerability is, I got this idea. Vulnerability is, I want to brag. I just kind of crushed it at work and I need to call somebody to brag. Who do I call? Right? As a real estate agent, who do I call to brag when I just beat out two of the other agents in my office for a listing? Right? I called my loan officer and I was
And
like, "Oh my god,
celebrate
oh my god, oh
together.
my god."
Yeah.
So excited. And vulnerability is also I just said the dumbest thing to this buyer. Oh my god. There's like there I got like 30 minutes till I get you're fired email. Like this is, and I did. I got the you're fired email. I was as an idiot. And I was just like, oh, hanging the head down and just like, oh. And I called my loan officer to pick me up off the ground and like, all
We all
right,
have those
okay.
challenges. I mean, our industry is so dynamic. If you think it's going to be a perfect world, then you need to get a new job. It's very dynamic for both sides.
Both
And
sides.
getting to know your real estate agent is key because you also start understanding them more. We like to pick on real estate agents, trust me. And I'm sure real estate agents like to pick on lenders, meaning, what the hell were they thinking? But when you start really talking to each other and building a relationship, you understand each other a lot more. And if you don't, then you find someone you do connect with. So, any last thoughts for
Well, I was just gonna say, can I share a story that may
yeah, I
put
love
a fine
stories.
point on
Bring
this?
it.
So I've done a lot of coaching and I still do a lot of coaching around recruiting. Because recruiting, how recruiters talk to realtors is very similar to how a loan officer talks to realtors. And it's a lot of times walking up and word vomiting on somebody about, this is
Yep.
all the things I can do for you.
Yeah.
So part of my job, a huge part of my job in running real estate offices was recruiting. And I remember I landed this team, these two guys that were this mega team. They it was just the two of them and an assistant, I think, but they were like, everybody knew who they were. And I had landed an appointment with them and I was so excited. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is a big deal for me. My boss is going to be so excited. And I sat down in the meeting and I remember just kind of how I got the appointment was pretty funny. They were literally moving offices. Their own company was moving to a new location. I said, well, as long as you're packing up your stuff, it might be a good opportunity to to look around and see, just to
Mhm.
see what else is out there. And they kind of laughed. I said, yeah, we were kind of thinking about that. Yeah, sure. We'll come and have a meeting with you too. We're going to meet with a couple other companies. I'm like, great. So they come and sit down and I said, well, again, practice what I preach. I got to learn a little bit about you. And I'm thinking like, okay, we're going to give them an office and we're going to do this and I'm going to help them with all. And it turned out that neither one of them had been to their kid's soccer game in a year and a half. They hadn't been to the
Oh,
doctor in 3 years.
mm.
They were spending almost as much money. They were barely keeping above water because they were so unorganized and they were a mess. To the outside world, they were like, "Oh my god, I got an appointment with these two guys." Inside behind the curtain, oh my gosh. And I got mad. I was mad at them. I was like, no. And I was like, nobody lays on their deathbed and says, I wish I'd have gotten one more listing.
Yeah.
Are you guys insane? And I had a flip chart in my office and I pulled out the flip chart and I was like, okay, this is how we're going to organize it. And I just started writing. And basically I yelled at them for 20 minutes, but like just started like here, here, here. I tore off the sheets of paper. I folded it up and I handed it to them. And I'm like, I hope this helps you. And they were just like,
You
hair
added
blown
value.
back, right?
Yeah. It wasn't
And
about you. It was about them.
them. And the funny part was my boss called me, hey, how'd the meeting go? And I'm like, well, they're probably never going to talk to me again because I pretty much
'Cause
yelled at them for 20 minutes.
I tore them apart for 20 minutes, but
Right.
that just showed you care.
Well,
It
it
shows
was,
you care because, I mean, on that same note, I mean, even when I was younger, my parents split up, and my mom was super easy to hang out with. Like, didn't like scold me, didn't whatever, and love her to this day. But she just didn't have any chutzpah to like. She didn't scare me at all. But my dad, holy crap, he laid down the law. He let me know where I stood, and when I chose, I actually went with my dad. Everybody's like, "Why wouldn't you go with mom? That's gonna be cake." I'm like, because my dad showed me how much he cared. And it's
well, and
you
right. You need
showed them how much you
some
care.
sort of support, right?
Yeah.
So my boss ends up meeting with them and she's like, oh, come join the meeting. And I'm like, oh God, they're going to like, crush me. And she said, why did you come back? And I said, well, we met with 3 companies and everybody, or 4 companies. I was one of 4. And everybody else wanted to give us free signs and a free office.
That's
Katie
not
was
what
the
they
only one
wanted,
who helped us.
but that wasn't what they needed.
That's what they needed. But you
Yeah.
didn't know until we asked the questions
All right, so
and
ask the questions, get to
ask the
know who
question.
they are, and Todd taught that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
with high trust selling.
Yeah,
He
big
talks
Todd
about,
Duncan fan.
and you have to do the high trust. It was actually, how you talk to them. That's what he taught us, and it changed my career because it was you ask these deep questions and find out, and they'll give you the answers. If you ask the questions, they'll let you know where to go versus you thinking, assuming you said that right off the bat, I'm going to assume who they are, what they need. Well, you don't know
You don't
until
know.
you ask the questions. And
No
once they ask
idea.
the questions, you know exactly where to go.
Right.
So it's such great insights,
Can I give you
Katie.
one great question to ask a real two? Well, one I already
Please,
told you.
please.
One
This is
question was, what did they do
all
before
right.
selling
Hope you're
real estate?
listening.
Okay, write this down. If you get a coffee meeting, if you ask them nothing else, ask them these 2 questions. 1, what'd you do before getting into real estate? It'll tell you everything you needed to know
And they'll
and
talk.
get them talking. And then ask more questions. Be curious. Be curious, curious, curious. Secondly, it's my favorite question. I'm very cheesy. So if you're not as cheesy as I am, this may not be for you. But if you're a little bit cheesy, you can play with it. If you had a magic wand and you could change 3 things about your business, what would they be?
That's
The
a great
hardest part
question.
is shutting up. It's the
Right?
hardest part.
Yeah, because you want to go, because I can fix this, this, and this. I'm like, well, wait, you asked me a question. Let me answer it. So,
Right.
yeah,
It's the hardest part.
it's
I will guarantee you 100% of the time, they will tell you at least one thing that you or your company has to grant them a wish. But they've just never, no one's ever asked them that question. They didn't even know that.
I
They
like
don't know
that.
about the technology that you guys
Bing.
have on the mortgage side. They have no idea about some of the technology tools that you guys have. None. They don't have a clue.
Do they have a hard time when you're meeting them at a coffee thing and you're in a princess outfit? Is that a little offsetting?
I actually have a magic wand in my bag. I literally do. I carry it with me all the time. People ask me, do you grant wishes? And I'm like, I do all the time. It's really,
Bing,
really
bing,
fun.
bing.
Yes. Like I had it at the last conference you and I had it was
Oh
granting
my
people
goodness.
into the luncheon as I was
Oh,
granting
that's
people with my
right.
magic
That's
wand.
right. That's
Mhm.
right.
I have my magic wand with me. Yes.
How fun are you? I love it that you've also figured out how to make work fun. Heaven forbid, because this industry can chew you up and spit you out. But if
Yeah.
you make it fun, then you do it better. And people
Mhm.
want to be around happy people and fun people and people that are positive, not just people that are grinders. So you do a good job. I mean, I know you've done a great job. You became like such a good like friend so easily to where, hey, Katie, how's it going? And it was just very easy to converse with you, share stories with, get to know each other. And I really appreciate you sharing your insights because, success in an industry isn't always about knowledge. It's
No.
really about connections and communication and building relationships. It really is. Yes, do you have to become better at your job? And we're going to give you, like at our event, you're going to get those techniques. You're going to get those strategies. You're going to get the tech. You're going to get the AI. You're going to get those things that will help you have the systems to do your job better. But if you don't build relationships first, you're going to have an uphill battle. Am I right?
100%.
Very cool. Well,
100%.
thank you, Katey. You
Thank
have been
you.
a blast. Thank you for sharing tips that our loan officers need to know, because you know how to speak realtor and not assume. And those two great questions are imperative. And I thank you for sharing your insights. I knew it'd be really fun, and I enjoyed the podcast. And
Hey, we had fun. We hope some of you listening are having fun as well.
That's right. That's right. So thank you all for being part of our show. Look up, how can they find out more about you, Mrs. Speak? Because you do a lot of
Well, it's
coaching
fine.
and training.
Coach Katey is where I'm on all social media as Coach Katey. It actually came from being a little league coach, and it stuck.
What do you
And so
coach? Who are you coaching?
right now,
Yeah.
coaching loan officers and real estate agents, and some consulting with property tech. But I am actually working. I just took on one of my consulting clients offered me a job, and took on a job for an AI company in the real estate ecosystem. So Pearl and AI is who
Okay.
I'm with these
So you
days.
can bridge the gap for them.
Yeah,
Very cool. Well, if you want to learn more,
that's
and
exactly what I do. I'm a translator. Works out nicely.
yeah, you're a communicator, you're a connector, and Katey, you're a lot of fun. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
on our show today. And all of you on here, please follow us, like us, give us reviews, because that helps us grow. Check us out we're on Spotify, Audible, iTunes, YouTube. This video will be there. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, anything, just momentum building. You'll find us everywhere. We'd love you to be part of our community, and let's all grow and build momentum together. So thank you for being part of our show today. And thank you, Katey.
You've been listening to the Momentum Builder Podcast. For resources and next steps, check the show notes. If today's conversation brought you value, please rate and review the show. It helps more professionals like you to find it. Because this isn't about motivation for motivation's sake. It's about creating real momentum. We'll see you next time.